mga kababayan, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, 7 taon na po ang kauna-unahan at kaisa-isang pang-araw-araw na produksyon para sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Amerika. Nagsimula po kami sa pangalang Kababayan LA, and just recently, we changed the name to Kababayan Today para po i-welcome ang ating mga viewers from Hawaii through Kiku Channel, dahil tayo po ay napapanood na rin araw-araw, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 3:30 ng hapon. Kaya po para sa ating mga viewers from Hawaii, aloha to all of you. At para naman sa mga nanonood sa atin dito sa Southern California, kamusta? Wag pong kaliligtaan, alas 4 na po ng hapon. Mas maaga na pong napapanood ang Kababayan Today. My name is Janelle So, and like I said earlier, we are going to look back some of the big names that visited us in 2011. Pero bago yan, syempre po maglalakwatsa muna tayo dito sa palibot ng Los Angeles. Southern California Toyota takes us around town in Los Angeles on Kababayan Today. On the eve of LA's annual Festival of Books, the Philam community congregated for the Gabi ng mga Manunulat, or Authors Night, to celebrate and recognize Filipino and Filipino-American writers and their literary works. Philippine Expressions Bookshop, now on its 29th year of service as a mail-order bookstore for the Filipino community, hosted the gathering.
The reason why I established it is to be able to provide a home to Philippine writings and writings of Filipino Americans here in this continent, and at the same time connect the Filipinos in the diaspora to their homeland by way of books and literature and history and whatever are the books written about the Philippines.
Philippine Expressions Bookshop, particularly Linda and her husband Robert, they have been very supportive. They have been dedicated and committed to support the work of Filipino and Filipino-American authors. I'm really grateful to this couple for giving a platform for our Filipino and Filipino-American authors.
The Philippine Consul General of Los Angeles, Maria Helen Barber de la Vega, was just one of the many attendees who flocked to the community hall in support of the authors, whose creative efforts through literature serve as a bridge to link their readers to Filipino history and culture.
Authors are storytellers of our culture, and they play a big part in giving, increasing awareness to our culture, at the same time giving stronger self-esteem to our young people. Because the more they read about who they are, the more they're invigorated as Filipinos. So it's important that we have writers all around us, for that matter.
The established and emerging literary figures in the panel spoke about their works and connected to their audience by spotlighting Filipino historical, cultural, and spiritual values.
As I write this, the strains of Ave, Ave, Ave Maria keep ringing in my ears. In my younger days, I had been traipsing around Europe, visiting major tourist sites without even thinking of visiting Mama Mary's shrines that dot Europe. While family and friends attest that I was quite religious during my growing up years, somehow the lure of the material world drew me away from my religious upbringing.
I wanted what my friends at school were eating. I wanted the food I saw on television. At the time, as far as I could tell, Magic Johnson drank 7-Up, not calamansi juice. Punky Brewster shared a plate of pasta with her dog Brandon, not a plate of ponce. And I was certain that Hulk Hogan's mantra of training, saying your prayers, and eating your vitamins had nothing to do with the fermented shrimp paste that my mother claimed would make me a strong boy.
I fought a lot with Mom, maybe because our personalities were similar, although I didn't realize this until I was probably in my 40s. My parents Americanized me, but when I acted like an American, it became a source of conflict.
If you look at the themes that they presented, it covers from religion to family to food and even to some parts of our heritage. And this is very important, especially for second-generation Filipino Americans, to see a connection, to see a linkage between what is in the Philippines and what we can do here as part of nurturing the identity of being Filipino Americans.
As a second-generation Filipino-American, the author of Los Angeles' historic Filipino town, Karina Montoya, values the notion of tapping into literature to discover a person's roots and identity.
Well, my father died when I was 7 years old, and he was what authors writing about that era called the Manong period. And my father was considered a Manong back in those days, and I didn't know what that meant. So a lot of my research and a lot of my interviews with people from Los Angeles that belong to that Manong generation, I got to know my father, whereas prior to that I really knew nothing about him. And so I would like to pass the information on to second generation and subsequent generation Filipino Americans like myself.
Nietes echoes the same sentiment of enriching and preserving Filipino heritage through literature and the arts.
Parents should encourage their children to read. If they can afford it, buy them books and maintain a small library at home, because books are the documents of our culture, so to speak. And the thoughts and the ambitions and the dreams of our people are all there.
Southern California Toyota takes us around town in Los Angeles on Kababayan Today.